November 22nd, 1987, Chicago. A local news broadcast is airing, uninterrupted, to hundreds of thousands of homes. Then, for exactly 25 seconds, the signal is gone. When the picture returns, it isn't the news anymore. A man in a distorted rubber mask is staring into the camera. He's rocking back and forth against a spinning, corrugated metal background. And he starts to talk.
What's the way? I just made a giant masterpiece for all the greatest world newspaper nerds. My brother is wearing the other one, but it's dirty. It's got footprints on it.
He mocked the news anchor by name. He rambled. He laughed. And then, after less than 2 minutes, he was gone. 37 years later, nobody has ever been identified. To understand how strange this really is, you have to understand what broadcast television looked like in 1987. Television signals didn't travel over the internet. They traveled over the air and over microwave relay links between towers. To hijack a broadcast, you needed a transmitter powerful enough to overpower the real signal, pointed at exactly the right receiver at exactly the right moment. That meant whoever did this wasn't a random prankster with a webcam. They needed real broadcast engineering knowledge, which is what made the first hijack, earlier that same day, so alarming. The first hijack happened during a Chicago Bears highlight broadcast, hours before the second, more famous one. The picture cut out for less than 30 seconds. No message, no mask, just noise. And then it was gone, and the broadcast resumed as if nothing happened. Engineers at the station noticed it. Nobody outside the control room even realized what had happened. It was treated as a technical glitch. Nobody imagined it would happen again. Hours later, on a different channel, in a much stranger way. At 11:15 p.m., during the late-night newscast, it happened again. This time, it wasn't just static. This time, someone was there. Investigators later confirmed the figure was wearing a mask modeled after a well-known TV character of the era, distorted through a video effect to make it look glitchy and inhuman. Behind him, a corrugated sheet of metal spun slowly, meant to mimic a background used on a real television show. For nearly 90 seconds, the figure rambled, mocking a rival news anchor by name, making crude jokes, laughing at his own static warped voice. Then, just as suddenly as it started, the picture cut to black, and the station's real broadcast resumed. The FCC opened an investigation immediately. This wasn't just vandalism. Under federal law, hijacking a broadcast signal is a serious federal crime, punishable by significant fines and prison time. Investigators quickly ruled out a full station takeover. Whoever did this hadn't broken into the building. They'd overpowered the signal from an external transmitter, meaning they had to be physically near the broadcast towers, with equipment capable of matching or exceeding the station's signal strength. That narrowed the suspect pool dramatically. This wasn't a teenager with a home antenna. This required broadcast engineering expertise, expensive equipment, and detailed knowledge of exactly when and how to breach the signal without detection. Over the decades, dozens of theories emerged. Some pointed to disgruntled broadcast engineers with access to the necessary equipment. Some pointed to members of the era's early hacker and phone-phreaking subculture who had both the technical skill and the taste for this kind of stunt. Others believed it was two or more people working together, one operating the equipment, another performing. None of these theories have ever been confirmed. No suspect was ever formally named by investigators. No arrest was ever made. And the statute of limitations on the crime has long since expired, meaning even if the person responsible came forward today, they likely couldn't be prosecuted. But then, decades later, something happened that reopened the entire case in the public imagination. In the internet era, the hijack footage resurfaced and spread widely online, turning a forgotten local news oddity into an internet-wide unsolved mystery. Amateur investigators, true crime forums, and internet sleuths began independently trying to identify the transmitter equipment, the mask supplier, and the exact rooftop or vehicle the signal was broadcast from. Some online researchers claim to have narrowed the likely broadcast origin to a specific building near the affected towers, based on signal geometry. Investigators at the time did in fact confirm the signal had to have originated from a location with clear line of sight to the towers. But the exact site was never officially confirmed. Occasionally, individuals have come forward online claiming direct knowledge of who was responsible. None of these claims have ever been independently verified, and several have later been disputed or retracted. Which means, more than 3 decades later, only 2 things are certain. Someone with real technical skill and real intent deliberately broke federal law to interrupt live television, twice in one night, for reasons that have never been explained. Second, they were never caught. Everything else, the motive, the identity, the equipment, even whether it was one person or several, remains exactly where it was in 1987, unknown. Somewhere, someone still knows exactly what happened that night. Maybe they were young. Maybe they're still alive. Maybe they've watched every documentary, every forum post, every theory about who they were, and said nothing. The signal only lasted for 2 minutes. The silence that followed it has lasted for 37 years. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this channel for more upcoming stories. Drop your suggestion for next topic. Your suggestion might be featured in our next video. That is it from Hidden Tales. Until next time.